Hey everyone, so today I want to introduce you to my new Simplicity lawn tractor here. It is a 2021 Simplicity Regent, so it's their entry-level model or their smallest lawn tractor. Go over a few things here why I chose this, and we'll do a test here. Watch me cut for a while, see how it stripes, and most importantly, the feature that I was willing to put my money down for on this particular tractor. Now this particular model has a 38-inch deck, a 23 horsepower Briggs & Stratton PXI V-twin, which is the new generation of Briggs & Stratton Professional Series. In general, these Simplicity mowers also have a heavier duty rear transaxle than comparable models, but the real reason I went with the Simplicity and was willing to pay this $2,400 price tag is this mower deck right here. So this is what Simplicity calls a free floating mower deck, and really what we have here is a mower deck whose height is controlled by this set of rear rollers here. So this deck moves up and down with the ground it's passing over laying on these. This is not something that's common in the industry, and I don't believe any other manufacturer is currently doing this. In the past, this was quite common. I had an old wheel horse that also had a similar arrangement, not full rollers, but had a large wheel here that rode on the ground, and what this does is prevent scalping. So my opinion, the front anti-scalp wheels, the rear ones on most mower decks right now do little to nothing. And the reason for that is, if I have a large bump or a rock here that my front anti-scalp wheel hits and momentarily pushes the deck up, as soon as that passes into the blades or past that front wheel, the deck drops back and you hit it. So for my terrain here, a lot of hills, breakover angles, different sloping, I knew I had to have this deck. The other thing is it's got electric height of adjustment here, so you can see as I move this toggle switch, basically there's linkage that pushes this down and raises the mower deck up. With this particular setup, I've got 4 hours on it. What I've noticed is I can cut shorter than I was able to with past mowers with still not having any scalping. The other thing it does is quality of cut, and when I say that, I mean when you look at the grass, it's a very even cut across the top. It follows the slopes, the dips, the high spots, and cuts it all at the 2 3/4, 3 inches that I'm set at. Not that experienced with other mowers. So prior to this one, I had a John Deere 1 Series tractor. Now there was some different things I was doing with that, and that is a very reliable, rugged machine, not great at cutting. And because just the size, if you're cutting a field, it's probably just fine machine, but in a yard like this, with some terrain, I definitely prefer this machine so far. So I'm gonna do some trim passes here. I've got a hill slope behind me here, as you can see, and I think that's a perfect spot to test this mower deck, and especially the breakover at the top. So normally that's where I've had problems if I try to go straight up and down this hill with some scalping at the top. So we'll see how this tractor does. I have not tried it with this yet, but we'll see how that goes today. Got done cutting this hillside here. Tractor did a really good job. This is the first time cutting with the Simplicity on this slope, going straight up and down it. I was a little bit concerned if I was going to spin or lose traction, but that wasn't the case. It climbed right up. You can see here it did a pretty good job of striping. That's a side benefit, if you ask me. These stripes going with the contour of the hill here were done 5-6 days ago when I cut, and then the ones running up and down here are the ones I did today. And you can see they last quite a while. That, like I said, that was 5-6 days ago I cut, and you can see I'm developing kind of a pattern here. So kind of a nice feature. The sun's at our backs right now, so they really tend to pop. I set the tractor up here because I wanted to talk about that free-floating mower deck and why tractors struggle with this type of breakover angle. And you can see along here, this breakover on the rest of it, there's no signs of scalping or anything like that. This setup does an excellent job in this scenario, so I'm quite happy with it. I'm cutting about 3 inches, 2 3/4, 3 inches, somewhere in there. And you can see that I set this right at the breakover because what most tractors struggle with without this mower deck relying on those rear rollers to keep it up, once those front wheels drop over that peak, you've got the apex of your breakover between your wheels, and the ground basically comes right up and the mower deck sits on it, and just the blades engage your dirt and scalp, or at the very least cut shorter than the rest of it. You can see what these rear rollers are doing by laying on the ground there. They're not allowing that roller deck or the deck to drop down until it's past the apex of that hill. So that is why I was willing to spend a little bit more on the Simplicity tractor. Now there are some negatives with having your roller deck, your mower deck, rolling directly on the turf. If you've got a lot of bumps and you like to mow extremely fast, this is going to beat this up, and it's probably not going to last a long time. My yard is fairly smooth, and I take my time a little bit. I'm not full throttle the whole time, so it's a non-issue for me. But you know, if you're even want to mow a field occasionally or something like that, some real rough spots, this is not the mower for you. I suppose you could leave it up in the transport setting so that roller's not engaged and do that sort of thing, but really it's not made for that. But yeah, overall very happy with it. It does a great job cutting. This is the 38-inch deck. I got that just to improve the quality of cut, and the wider those decks are, they can dig into the ground where you're on a side hill and things like that. So I wanted to keep it tucked in, and so far extremely happy with how this thing cuts. Enjoying this nice day, and I hope you are too. You can see I've got some brown spots in this hillside yet. I believe that's because this is a north-facing slope, and the ground temperature stays cool quite long. We're in the beginning of May here. I believe this is still kind of dormant bluegrass that's waking up yet. We'll see in a few weeks if that comes alive here and fills in and turns nice and green. But first week in May, it happens to be a beautiful day today, but it was rather chilly the last few weeks. End of April was highs in the 50s, things like that. So we're just getting going here, and look forward to more days of using this lawn tractor and some nice cuts. Adios. One thing I like to do after every mow here is blow off my equipment with a leaf blower. I think it's a lot safer than getting water in the engine, possibly. Pretty low risk there, but in the bearings and all that stuff, I think blowing it off is probably a lot better for the overall reliability. So here I go. Oh, the other thing, these AirPod Pros are excellent for yard work. The noise canceling on them is amazing. I can listen to music at half volume while I mow or use this blower, so highly recommend these. Hey, got to finish up this mowing today with some weed whacking.